good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Fantastic. This movie, it is one of a kind. Nothing can be compared to it. And I love things like that. And I'm glad that you were a part of this journey.
Me too. Me too. It's been an incredible journey. It's taken a while for it to, come to the theaters because the pandemic and all the, post-production houses being full and all of that. But here we are, finally. We made it 2 years ago. And it's a very exciting moment.
It's got to be like banking. In other words, like when you do something 2 years ago and it finally comes out, it's like, I mean, your whole life has changed from then to now, and now you get to live in the present by bringing it forward again.
I know, isn't it interesting? But I find that with film because, there's so much time that goes by before it finally is released. I mean, it, usually takes at least a year. This is, of course, a little bit longer. It's double that, 2 years. But so yeah, you go through so many changes and you've moved on and done other projects and life has brought you so many other things. And then here we are talking about it. But it's always a good moment because, we work very hard on these films. I know people tend to think it's a very glamorous existence. And actually my favorite thing about my job is that it's not glamorous at all. We wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and we're these odd places and, we travel and we work 16 hours a day but it's a collaboration and that's the beauty of it, so I'm very happy that this is finally seeing, it's in theaters right now and it's a good moment.
I can't imagine what you have to go through to condition yourself to do a movie like this because, I mean, you're right. It's so many people who've never been on a set or even worked with a movie don't understand how you put your mind, body, and soul through a storm. And all of a sudden, here's this art on the other side.
Yeah, and I think they shouldn't know because part of movies is the magic of, the movie magic. You're there and you want to be transported into this whole other experience. And so I think the less you know about that, the better off you are. But I'm also a bit different from most people because I also still very much believe the less you know about me, the more enjoyable I could hopefully be as an actor. Because I think the moment you know a lot about about somebody, about an actor, it's hard to watch them and not take the knowledge that about their private life and, accept them as this character that they're playing. So I'm very old school there.
Oh, I'm totally with you on that because that's one of the reasons why I don't do videos when it comes to interviews. And the reason why is because I like the mystique. I want you to assume that you know.
Yeah, absolutely. But you go tell, my team that because, like, wait, why is she not on social media and what is going on here? It's so much easier, for them. To promote me in other areas, but no, I'm very private, and I agree with you. It's the mystique.
Now, when you say very private, now only because I'm a daily writer, I love to write. I love to be in that moment of solitude. Are you a writer? Because when you speak like that, it almost sounds like you got a pen in your hand and you're jotting stuff down.
I went to Columbia University.
Mm-hmm.
For writing and not writing and director, for writing and literature. And that was after my modeling career, before I started acting. And so writing is something that's very dear to me. I wrote and directed a feature film called Bringing Up Bobby, which came out, I did it about 10 years ago. We shot it in Oklahoma with Mila Jovovich and Bill Pullman. And I, during the pandemic, I sat down and wrote an animated film, which I'm trying to get off the ground now. So writing is and then there's probably been 10 scripts in between that haven't really gone anywhere yet, just because I like the experience, but then I've been a bit of a one-woman show and I need other people. I need a collaboration. I need to get that. And that's always the challenge. And especially, like I said, I'm not on social media and things, so I'm not quite as connected maybe as most people are. But I love the solitude of writing, and I like that, and painting. I just like that I can creative process and no one meddles with, nobody gets involved. Like, no, you can't do that, or that's too, you can just do it on your own. So it's a wonderful thing.
Oh, painting on a canvas. My favorite thing to do. I'll start off with an idea with a brush, but then I've got to get my fingers somehow involved. And I become the canvas because I just love touching paint.
Mm. Yeah, it's a painting is a wonderful thing.
You're going to get a lot of kudos from anime fans when it comes to this movie, because I mean, you do anime justice. So many people still haven't discovered what anime is, but a movie like this, Knights of the Zodiac, oh my God, this is going to be an open door for them to explore.
Yeah, I to be honest with you, I didn't grow up with any of it. I didn't grow up with comic books, with, and anime. But being a latecomer to all of this, I find it interesting because as someone who studied literature, I think a lot of people would look down on these types of things, but they have deeper meaning. They're about so many other things that I think everyone can relate to. What it's in those X-Men films and comic books, like what it's like to be an outsider, and in this anime, Saint Seiya, Knights of the Zodiac, of this young Japanese boy who has to let go of his past in order to turn into the full potential of himself. And these are wonderful messages, and about much deeper meaning. So, and in terms of my character, it's also lovely that it was in the anime, it was a male character going into a female, but I collaborated very closely with the director on creating an arc and you don't see that very often, that you have an emotional arc in a movie like this. And so I'm proud that we actually were able to accomplish that and get that on the screen, because it's a big thing that my character goes through. Her adopted daughter, she believes is going to destroy the world. And so the only way to save the world is to destroy her daughter. And I said, be flippant about that. We're going to have an emotional scene between these characters at some point where you can see the toll that it takes of this decision. And so we did it.
Wow, and you did it well. You really did do it well. You got to come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and congratulations on this movie.
Thank you so much. You have a great weekend.
Thank you.